What's up, guys? Welcome back to another movie review. Oh, ironically, this is for a horror movie. But The Heretic came out today, and I went and saw it. I went into this movie pretty much knowing nothing at all. I heard Hugh Grant and A24 horror movie, and I was hooked. Okay, that's all you need to tell me, and I will go to see your movie. And so I saw it on opening night because I was very excited, and it was showing at a theater near me. A local theater, and I always like to support local theaters. You should do it yourself. And so I went and saw it. There is so much I would love to talk about this movie, but I simply can't. Because the better, and I've said this a lot for movies this year in particular, but I think this one's definitely a standout for this concept, is that is go in knowing as less as possible. I will give you the bare minimum of what I think you may already know. But for me, I barely even saw a trailer. So I went in completely empty handed and I really enjoyed it. So, with all that said, I'm going to start the review. The Heretic has a really simple premise. Two girls get locked in a house with a creepy Hugh Grant. This movie is amazing. Okay? There is so much to like about this movie. I will start with the performances. All three actors and or actresses, the big three in this movie, all give Oscar nomination worthy performances. Specifically, I'll split up the specifically into two. Hugh Grant and I'm not even gonna do that. All three deserve nominations, and all three could get nominations. Honestly, we'll see, of course. But this movie throughout, the pacing of this movie is really good. It gives you little nuggets here and there as you go out, and you slowly put together what's going on. The set design for this movie is one of the best I've seen all year. The set design really brings this movie together and what's happening, and I love it. I was honestly worried when we got to certain aspects of the movie where I thought there was consistency issues. But they fixed themselves up so nicely and built themselves into the story so nicely that not only were my worries relieved, they were blown away by 5,000 miles of what I thought was actually going to happen. This movie has a lot of twists and turns, and that's why I say, go in knowing as less as possible, because if you do not want the twists in this movie to be spoiled for you. You want to witness them yourself. Honestly, the best way, and I don't think this is spoiler territory, at least I pray it isn't, the best way to see this movie is in the theater. Because there's a lot of dark scenes in this movie where at times it is a little hard to see. But I'm not going to dock the movie for that. Because, first of all, it's hard to film night shots. Second of all, it's realistic to what our characters are probably seeing in that moment. So, with all that said, this movie, it doesn't seem creepy at the surface. And honestly, when you get done with the movie, and the whole movie ties together so well, you'll get done with it, and it might not seem as creepy as you might have thought at the surface, but then you get thinking about it. It's the second I left the theater, I started thinking about it more and more and more. And it's a really creepy concept at the end of the day. Go watch The Heretic. Go see it in a local theater. Do it in the best way you know how. It's one of the best I've seen all year. With some of the best performances I've seen all year. With some of the best set design I've seen all year. The movie's also brilliantly directed. there's a lot of shots in this movie that ream or like pay homage to some of my favorite directors. It's obvious at times. It's not so obvious at other times. Just they put their own twist on it. Go watch this movie for yourself. It's a good one. It honestly doesn't even feel like a traditional A24 movie, though it definitely ties into the A24 movies at the end of the day. I like them, and I like this one. This one's no different. I give The Heretic an A-. I definitely think it's worth watching, and I definitely think that there might be Oscar noms in this for this movie. I really don't know. But with that said, just go watch it, okay? And I honestly, I might do a spoiler review for this movie because there's so much I want to talk about it. All right, guys, I will do more movie reviews soon, I promise. And check out the second episode of the Just Friends Chatting podcast. I do apologize for my poor, semi-rushed editing for that one. I will work on it as the episodes go on. Peace out. Like and subscribe.